This might be the coolest thing I've ever seen.
So happy that she didn't fall in the water.
Me too. We got all the way to the other side of the lake and I was like, if one of us falls, we are in so much trouble. No, it was really nerve-wracking. It was so spectacular and I'm so glad that we did it. But there were a couple moments where I was like, this could go south really quickly, so we need to just go slow and stay on these boards.
Yeah, I'm honestly glad that you did not fall in
That
the
was
water.
the coolest thing that I've done in Alaska.
It looked pretty cool.
He got to go fishing overnight on a boat, and I got to paddleboard across a giant lake full of icebergs, so I think it's a fair
Pretty
trade-off.
amazing. So today we're going to go and find a bear. I know we're going to find a bear today.
It's
because they said
a possibility
that they are more active in the mornings. So
right.
We're going to see one. Definitely going to see one.
The elusive Alaskan bear.
There are, in fact, bears in Alaska.
We have photographic evidence that there are bears here.
We've seen a bunch of the side of the road, like, not in Alaska, but in Canada. But
on
like,
the way up.
When you see bears, like, in action, it's a whole different story. Them, like, eating the salmon, and then watching the salmon, I was like, what the heck are they doing? They aren't actually eating the salmon.
No.
They're only finding the females, and they're squeezing the eggs out, eating the eggs, and then discarding. If they accidentally get a male, they just drop it and like go back.
Keep going. I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy.
They like their caviar.
Yeah, apparently. These are very sophisticated Alaskan bears.
Yes, they are. I was blown away.
It was really fun. The girls just loved sitting there and watching the bears like interact with the fish and catch them and move around and eat the eggs. It was really fun.
And we were, somewhat close to the bears. They could care less about you. They're sitting there feasting on easy eggs. Glad we made it back to the hatchery and saw it. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It is just fascinating that the salmon go back there every year. Mm-hmm. But I honestly didn't care about the fish this time. I just wanted to see a bear.
to see bears.
And we did. And I think I got some cool shots and some cool footage, I hope. Yeah, so we're back here to the Glacier Lake.
Now it's your turn.
Yes, I'm going out on the water now. Mark and Ollie, they both have a couple kayaks each, blow-up kayaks, so they invited Nathan and I to go out and get to those caves.
Marissa and I did not get to see them.
Well, I actually saw them when you guys were out paddleboarding with the drone.
I'm glad you have kayaks because trying to like fiddle around with camera equipment on those paddleboards.
Yeah, we were gonna try it, but now I'm glad that they're here with their kayaks and they're gonna let us go out with them. So it's pretty awesome. Are you kidding me right now? This is kayaking in a iceberg cave. I mean, this color is unreal.
It's like the deepest blue you could ever imagine. Now that one I won't go under.
Arch of all arches.
We'll get a little closer. You can see the mountain through the arch.
Oh man.
Dude, it's like another world for sure. See the rocks on the edge? As it slowly melts, those things fall off. This might be the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That was probably the most incredible thing I've done in a long time. I can't even. Those blue caves and just the ice and how quiet it is out there and the way the water looks. I hope the film shows it a little bit. It's just so incredible.
There were a lot of photographers and videographers out there on the water, and they all came back.
There's 4, including me, and
Yep.
we're all just like, okay, one more shot. Okay, one more this. You couldn't leave. It was astounding.
Marissa and I can't be mad at them for the fact that we missed the caves and they got to see them because they were so excited when they got back. They at least have the ability to capture it in a pretty spectacular way.
And those kayaks they just blew me away. I was like,
yeah, we need some of those.
I was like, a blow up kayak? Are you sure? You know?
Yeah, I think that those might be in our future down the road because
We're definitely going to buy them.
we need to get
They're
something
like $70 shipped from Amazon.
How do they even
We're definitely
produce
gonna
that?
get
Like,
them.
that's crazy.
We'll put the link in the description.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, that was dumb that I went under one of them a little bit. All right, this falls on me. Tell my wife I love her. I couldn't
I
help
was
myself.
not out there to yell at
She
him.
definitely
I'm
would.
sorry.
Nathan was yelling at me. He's like, no.
Thank you, Nathan, for taking
I went under
my
the
job.
cave, and some of the locals around here said those caves have been there for years.
Right.
So
You said you didn't go under the big arch, right?
I didn't go to the big
Okay.
arch because that one was dropping stuff the whole time. So I am that smart.
Now if that whole thing fell, we might be in trouble. Might be a bit of a tidal wave there.
So we have been here for a few days and we have quite a little community that has started to build, and it almost has started to feel like Homer again, where we had all these RVing families just hanging out together and the kids playing, and so we relived our chilly night again while we were here, which
I
was
love
great.
It. So much fun.
So much fun. So everyone brought something, and Corey made chili, and Nathan
He sacrificed his propane
That's right.
so we could have a fire. I used to make fun of those like fake propane fires. They are so handy.
They are handy, especially when the wood all around you is soaking wet.
Yep. So thanks, Nathan.
Yes, it was wonderful. We're headed out of Valdez tomorrow. When we came into Valdez through the pass, the weather was really crappy and we missed a whole lot. The weather is not perfect, but it's not supposed to be raining.
It's not much better.
It's a little better and it's not going to be raining, so we're hoping that we can see a little bit more, and we really want to stop and check out the waterfalls that are coming down through the mountain pass.
Yeah, it's a Horsetail Falls is one of them, and I don't know what the other one is.
Bridal, because there's a bridal falls everywhere.
Oh, is it really?
It is.
Well,
Everywhere we go, there's a bridal falls.
so we're heading out of here tomorrow. It's been absolutely amazing here.
Worthington Glacier on our way through Thompson Pass out of Valdez and heading up to Palmer, and this is so
Made it to the terminus of the glacier here. So big.
thing flew off.
What thing flew up?
This thing, your cover. Guys, we lost something. Hold on.
Do you want to run back?
Well, I'm gonna have to. Like, okay. I don't know how far back it's gonna be, but it's back. This flew off. I don't even know how far back, and I watched it fly into the bushes. I was trying to film this backwards, and the microphone cover came off. Lily found it! Woohoo!
All right, you found it? I think we just backed up like a mile down the road.
A long way.
I can't believe we found that thing.
Lily, that was awesome.
Good job, Lil.
Layla was helping
Layla.
me the whole time though. Layla ran for forever. We are back in Palmer for the Alaska State Fair, and we're looking for some boondocking spots. So Nathan and Corey are gonna go check out these spots that are down by the Knik River, and it looks pretty epic. Though it's so wet, we have to be careful because the river can rise rapidly. So we'll see what they find.
We overnighted at 2 different places before we got here to the Knik, and the first place was just a pull-off. These pull-offs are just incredible. I never thought it would be so easy to just pull off and have just incredible views. Mm-hmm. And when you're caravanning, it just makes it even more like, not that I felt unsafe, but when you have 2 people, it makes it easier.
Not to mention you get to enjoy all of it together. That makes it fun.
Yeah. So the first night was overlooking some volcanoes. It was just a beautiful night. Clouds going over the volcano. It was just neat. Mm-hmm. And then the next place we went was full hookups. We went to a full hookup place. If you can believe it.
It's been almost 4 months since we've been in a campground with full hookups. So
forgot how to hook everything up.
The only time in Alaska so far that we've been at a campground with hookups.
Yeah. And it was good. It rained the whole time, of course.
Poured.
We took the opportunity to get everything cleaned up. Mm-hmm. We got a heater running, fans running, to dry everything out because it's just been so wet in here, so there's a lot of moisture. So we cleaned everything up, did laundry. And
you tell we're excited about clean clothes.
So here we are. And I don't know how Alaska keeps doing it. We just left a place with a lake with icebergs in it. Yeah. And now we're here, and these mountains are just towering over the river. It's just
spectacular.
I love it.
My gosh. I love it. I'm really excited to stay for a few days.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fun. We pulled in here and picked a site. And kind of were watching the water. The water was really flowing very heavily on the river, and we marked it with like a big rock, and it was rising while we were watching it.
Yeah, so for
a couple hours.
We went to a little bit higher ground, and so we're here now. We're up a little higher.
Always a good lesson when you're parking near a river. Like, make sure that you're paying attention in case it's going to rise.
And we did talk to a local here. He said this is as high as it gets, so we shouldn't have to worry. Yeah,
I think we're going to be good. So we are in Palmer to go to the Alaska State Fair, and we're going to head in for opening day tomorrow.
Tina, you fat lard, eat the dinner.
Tina, eat the food.
Yeah, like that. Perfect. Stand like that. No, that was perfect what you just did. Look straight ahead.
Eat the food.
And then, like, pretend you're
Now you have to chuck
like
it.
that.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner. Eat the food. Eat the food.
That's what I'm talking about, honey.
This is gonna go longer than me.
I'm winning. I'm not
You're the loser.
There's the one.
Honey, watch this.
so big. to the lumberjack show?
Check it out!
Oh my gosh, wait a second.
It's my best one yet! Yeah. You guys want to see it? Yeah!
Oh my gosh. I can tell you've really been practicing since last year.
Cover for me!
Cover for you? How can you cover for that, Marvin? Wait a second. You decapitated that rabbit.
No, I didn't! I just irritated them.
You sit down and think about what you've done. We're gonna have to get Mark or Jeff to do the carving after this, and we're gonna forget. Stand up right now and show everybody that cute little thing you're sitting on.
Sure?
Yes, you should be proud of that.
You guys want to see it? Yeah! All right, I've been working out. Here you go. Small for me.
It's small for you. Do you think there's someone you could find who'll fit?
Yeah, maybe a little lumberjack or lumberjill out in the audience.
Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Let's see.
Now we just gotta do a few things. We gotta see if it fits you, okay? All right. What's your name? Timothy. Let's give Timothy a big round. Okay, Timothy, we gotta wave to all the nice people on Palmer. And see all the mean people over in Anchorage, stick your tongue out at them. Give everybody a big yo-ho. All right, give me 5. Right on, one more thing. Is your mom here with you?
Yep.
Where's mom? Mom? You're the mother? Can Timothy have the chair, ma'am? Sure, okay, that'll be $50, lady.
The Fred Shears Lumberjack Show has been our Builder Supply wood lot. Let's give Marvin a nice hand.
Yo-ho!
The fair was good. The weather was crappy. And one of the main reasons why we came to the fair was to see the big, gigantic 400,000 pound vegetables. But we didn't do our research, and they show up at the end of the fair. So that's our fault.
Yeah.
But
That's
it was
right.
a good fair. I mean, there was a sword swallower there. Like, sword swallowers aren't really supposed to be part of fairs. But
Not
it was
that I've ever
it was a
seen
bonus.
before.
We saw a dude swallow a sword
Many
into his
swords.
body.
Oh my gosh. It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts. No, it was really fun. We got to meet up with Sam and her family, who we met at Let's Talk More Journey and KYD's meetup. And our girls got to hang out with her daughter, and
Yeah.
it was fun to like walk around with locals and kind of get to see the fair from their eyes. I think it's hard for us not to draw comparisons because we grew up with like the really big like Southern Maine fairs, the Cumberland County Fair and the Freiburg Fair, and I think the biggest difference for us is that there
Livestock.
was very little livestock, and we're used to that being like one of the biggest parts of a
Yeah,
fair.
the big horses and the cows and the steer and all, just everything. But
And they had animals, and the girls loved them. And
But that's
they were
what
wonderful.
happens when you grow up going to a fair. You just assume all other fairs are like that.
Very true.
So,
I've never been to a lumberjack show before, so that was fun. And one of the lumberjacks was there from Maine,
Yeah.
so that was kind of cool too. We mentioned caravanning earlier, but we wanted to touch on it again and just kind of discuss how it's worked for us with Nathan and Marissa, and maybe a couple pieces of advice if you're thinking about caravanning with somebody
there's
else.
so many positives. I mean, there's strength in numbers. Not that it's unsafe here. I don't want you to get that impression
No,
at all.
not at all.
But it's just, you just don't worry. Like, you don't worry about, running out of gas or something breaks. You have multiple vehicles to get you
Right.
around. Like, there's help. There's constant
Right.
help. Nothing's happened, but you never know.
It's fun to be able to share meals with other people. You're seeing all these amazing places, and it's just really nice to share that experience with another family.
Yeah, you're traveling neighbors.
Yeah.
It's really neat. You
I
spend
like
a lot
that.
of time together. It's just fun to share experiences with people. I don't know why it makes it a little bit more real, but it does.
I think it makes it more memorable too. Our advice to you, if you would like to travel with another family, is to try to make sure that you know what your travel style is and that it meshes with their travel style. So what we mean by that is, like, do you like
And
to
you need to
boondock?
start with the fact that you need to like each other.
That's true.
If you hate them, don't try to caravan with them.
No.
This is good advice right here.
Yeah, it's
Trust us. Don't hang out with people you don't like. But no, you have to make sure your travel styles match up. Budget matches up. Do you boondock? Do you need to stay in full hookups?
Yeah.
How long do you like to travel for? Do you like to pull over to take pictures? You know, all these little things. Work schedules. All that stuff comes into a factor. Like,
It's
do
so true.
your kids get along? Do your pets get along? Are you allergic to pets?
All things to think
All
about.
little things like.
All things to think about.
Yeah, there's a lot of family dynamics, but it is rewarding, like we've already mentioned, having a traveling neighbor.
It's so nice.
And sharing those experiences with people.
I think we talked about work or whatever, but what's your daily routine? So if you guys are late owls and this other family gets up really early in the morning or vice versa, then that
night owls.
might work. What did I say?
Late owls.
If you're a night owl, a late owl, night owl, whatever. When do you want to move? Like, how long do you want to drive during a drive day? How long do you like staying in places? Those are just all things that you want to think
How
about.
fast do you like to drive? And one other thing, in Alaska specifically, you do not have service a lot. You
Yeah.
have service at your destinations, but in between you don't.
Right.
So we used walkie-talkies.
Yeah, that was really helpful and
That's
really
what you
fun
call
on the
them
road too.
still, right? Walkie-talkies?
I think so.
Yeah. We used walkie-talkies to communicate, and that made it way easy.
If you can find someone that you have a good travel style with and your families mesh together, it's so worth it.
It's
and we
amazing.
Highly recommend
It's amazing.
it. We're gonna go head outside and have a fire with Chris and Marianne and Nathan and Marissa and the kids, and we'll see you soon.